Now, who wants to speak English like native speakers? For instance, if your target is American English, on Netflix or wherever you go, you need to focus mainly American movies. If words, voice, body language are saying the same thing, they will be powerful communication. How to brush up your communication skills, how to brush up your English, how to brush up your confidence level, how to do that. Whatever you find difficult in your life, do it again and again and again. It's not about marriage. Well, let's make a start. How many of you want to learn to speak English like English people? Good. Good. Not all. I know. Okay, that's great. And you know, like all will not learn. I still remember when I was a student of spoken English class myself, out of the whole class, I still know some people who were my class fellows and we were learning English together and they still don't know English. So thank you very much to be very, very honest and all that, because all of you will not improve, but some of you will improve. Okay. Now, who wants to speak English like native speakers? Native. You know, British, American, right? Australian and all that. Okay. Now, what's your favorite dialect of English? Your favorite dialect means British English, American English, Australian English, Canadian English, or you say for me English is English. Any dialect is okay. I wanted to speak English. Okay? So is there anyone who wants to improve American English? Good. All right. Anyone who wants to improve British English? Okay. And anyone who just wants to improve English? Only English, that's it. I am happy with Pakistani English as well, no problem. For me, okay? All right. So listen, whatever the desired outcome of learning English you have, it's a very good idea to listen to such type of English. For instance, if your target is American English, on Netflix or wherever you go, you need to focus mainly American movies, right? American seasons. Is there anyone who watches any American season? Which one? House of Cards. Good. So when you watch them, you need to actually observe the way they are speaking, and out of the whole season, you should have, or out of the whole movie, you should have one favorite character. And you have to pretend to be that character. Right? Now, who's your favorite character in the movie? Not a girl, okay? Boy, yeah. Otherwise, after observing the character, you'll become like this. You know what I mean, okay? So, who's your favorite character? Okay, English. Alright, so you like that character. So, you can live that character throughout the movie, throughout the season. Pick up the sentences of that character, the way he talks, facial expressions. They are very important in English. The way you actually go on with your words. You know, three things should go together. One is your words, second is your voice, and third is your body language. So if words, voice, body language are saying the same thing, they will be powerful communication. If words are different, voice is different, body language is different. If I say yes, I will come. Of course I will come. Yes, I will come. What does it mean? I mean, my words, my voice, my body language. We use the word congruent. Congruent means they are in perfect harmony. Perfect harmony means they are same. So if I say, of course, why not? I would love to come. You are going to offer coffee? No problem. We'll go together. Something like that. You're emphasizing. Okay? So you need to learn to express yourself, to communicate yourself. And then, you know, people will feel what you say. Do you sometimes feel what people say? No? You don't find the right people? Okay, you will find one day. So when you express yourself, if you express with your proper voice, words and body language, people will feel what you are saying. Then people will laugh at your jokes. Do you have this problem that you tell a joke and nobody laughs? Yeah, you tell a joke and at the end they say, "Acha, hasna bhi tha." Something like that, okay? So it means you don't know the proper art of communication. If you know, I mean, the people who tell joke, the first thing is they take full interest in their joke. And then they know when is the breaking point. Breaking point is when everybody is going to laugh. So what do? They dramatize that breaking point and finally they reach there and then everybody laughs. So you should know this art, okay? All right, how many of you have delivered a presentation in English so far? So how was the experience? It was good? Somehow good? Good, yes, last one. How was your experience when you delivered a presentation in English? Good. Your experience would be wonderful if the people in the audience don't know English. Okay? They will appreciate you. Yeah? Yeah. Exactly. If they don't know English, they will just do that. Yes, please. Huh? Not bad. Not bad means average experience, right? Okay. So, I mean, in order to learn to speak English, you have to use English. And you should see what is the right situation where you have to use English. Don't use English. Like in my neighborhood, there's a boy and he actually started watching American movies and then he had this feeling, you know, sometimes you have some problem here. He had a feeling that he was American. Local guy living here, he just started watching American movies and then he had this feeling that he was American. And wherever he went, even to the shop, he spoke English. And at the end, people said he is crazy. Literally crazy. Yeah, exactly. So don't use your language at the wrong place. Where you need to speak Pashto and you speak English, you know what will happen there. Okay, yeah. If you speak English and there you need to speak Pashto, you need to speak Urdu, you need to speak Punjabi. At times you look like a fool. Have you noticed? If some people are speaking Punjabi with you, and you're speaking Urdu with them, and they again speak Punjabi with you, for example, or they speak Pashto, you speak English, you look like a fool. So you should know the language. That's why when English people come, they don't understand our language, or say, stupid. Something like that, because they don't understand. So you should know where to use what language, right? And how to speak that language and, you know, the demand of that time. Then you will become a good communicator. And communication is 90% in your professional life, right? If you can communicate well, whatever your degrees are, if you can communicate well, you can tell the people. Actually, you have to justify your degrees. So if your communication skill is good, you know, some doctors, they have to tell that they are doctors, right? They don't look like doctors, they don't talk like doctors, they don't walk like doctors, but they are doctors. Right? So a doctor should look like a doctor, talk like a doctor, behave like a doctor. And you should have a feeling. You should have a feeling like he is actually a doctor. So whatever your chosen field is, you have to walk that field, you have to talk that field, and then you'll be successful. Otherwise, you will say, I am a doctor. So please tell me what is the problem. Say, go away, you look like a nurse or anyone like that, okay? So this is again important. Now, the question is how to do that all. How to brush up your communication skills, how to brush up your English, how to brush up your confidence level, how to do that. Any answer? Practice. Practice makes the man perfect. Okay, no one is perfect. So, conclusion, don't practice. Yeah, practice makes perfect. Now listen, only practice will not make you perfect. Practice in the right direction. Otherwise, you practice. I know some students who speak English beautifully, very fluently, but their English is wrong. And they practice. All right, I'll try you. Yeah, okay, no problem. I'm American, yeah. They speak, but that's grammatically wrong. And people who don't know English say, wow, his English is very high. Very high that you cannot even catch it, okay? So practice in the right direction. And whenever you practice, you know, English is not our native language. Our native language always has the role models. For example, you learned Urdu, you learned Punjabi, you learned Pashto, Balochi, right? How did you learn? From your parents, from your surroundings. So they influenced you. I mean, if I speak Punjabi, I talk like my family. The way my family speaks Punjabi. If you speak Pashto, you talk like your family. So there is an influence. But when it comes to English, we don't have anybody around us. Right? So you need to actually find someone and then you can talk like them. So practice in the right direction and practice with learning. Once there was a government clerk and clerk, yeah. Once there was a government clerk and somebody tried to correct him. He was doing something and somebody tried to correct him and he said with confidence, पिछले 25 साल से मैं ये काम ऐसे ही कर रहा हूँ. तुम कौन होते हो मुझे सही करने वाले? Right? So if you're not careful and if you don't mind, your practice will lead you to no results. So practice, that is going to lead you to results. That's going to be the right practice. Okay, one is practice. Second, experience. Well done. Whatever you find difficult in your life, do it again and again and again. It's not about marriage. Do it only once and that's it, okay? So whatever you find difficult in life, do it again and again. For example, I find driving difficult. I should do it again. I should do it second time. I find delivering presentations difficult. I find talking to the audience difficult. I should do it again and again. So once you're going to do it repeatedly, you're going to be all right, okay? And experience, well done, very good. I really appreciate that. Practice, experience, anyone else? Vocabulary. Okay, that's a good idea. Well, in English language, we've got the working vocabulary. What is working vocabulary? The vocabulary that I'm using right now. And I can comfortably speak English for hours using this simple vocabulary. This is what we call working vocabulary. English is a vast language. There are more than 100,000 words in English. And it's not necessary. I mean, by the way, do you guys know every word of your national language, Urdu? If you are confident, open Urdu dictionary. We call it Lughat. Once you open that, you'll say, is it Urdu word? Okay, so there are thousands of words you've never used, you've never come across, but still those words exist. So as far as vocabulary is concerned, it's a good idea to learn working vocabulary. Working vocabulary is the vocabulary. There are 3,000 words in English which are most commonly used. You can just Google them. Go to Google and write there 3,000 most commonly used words in English and you will find a list. And the good news is 98% words you know already. When you go through them, very simple, very easy. I know these words, up to 3,000 words. I've actually conducted that research in one of my classes where I made a handout. There were 3,000 words. I gave that handout to all the students and I asked them to underline the words they don't know. And they were hardly each student had 20, 30 words that they didn't know. Otherwise, they know these words. Provided their qualification is metric or intermediate. It's not for uneducated people. For uneducated people, they don't understand. Cat, what is cat? I do not know. Something like that, okay? It's only for educated people. So that's 3,000 word vocabulary. And then the main thing is how to use the words. Main thing is, for example, at the moment, I'm speaking English. The language I'm using, you know that language. The words I'm using, you know those words. The vocabulary, the verbs, nouns, parts of speech I'm using, you know them already. But there is a difference between you and I. One thing common, you know English, I know English. Like we know same English. Okay? One thing uncommon, I know English, I use my English. You know English, you don't use your English. And what you don't use over a time period, you will lose it. If you don't speak English, for example, once upon a time, I was a student of Persian language. I did diploma in Persian language, 1 year diploma. At that time, my Persian was good. Even I went to Iran. But now, my Persian is limited to few sentences. Salam agha, hali shuma chetora, khub asti, hali kuja asti, something like that, okay? I just know few segregated sentences now because I did not use Persian. So, you need to try to use your English. Okay, how many of you want to make any international fame or international progress? Right? Is there anyone? Good. Just few. All right, you know, after 2 sessions, when you attend the third session, you look at the trainer like this. Yeah? Even if the session is going to be, you look at the trainer like this and you say, all right. Yeah. Okay. So don't worry, that's natural. I'm just trying to tickle you. I'm trying to make you happy. But this is very, very natural, right? Okay. So what were we talking about? Yeah, if you want to go for international opportunities, if you want that people know you at the global level, because now whatever is going on in our country, please get up, rise and shine, and prove yourselves globally. If you're going to prove yourselves locally, I'm sorry to say you will not be able to make it as much as you can if you are going to be global. So you need to go global. You need to go global, okay? And for that, the language is English. Thank you very much. Others are just sleeping. Yeah? Okay. So for that, the language is English, and you should be able to communicate in English very comfortably. It's not that when you have to speak English, there are signs on your face. English. All right. Like, you know, after eating spicy food, you are like this. So you should be confident and comfortable. Okay. Thank you.